welcome to Cigar Nerds Podcast. I'm your host, Smokin' Joe.
I'm Brad Jackson.
And we got a twofer cigar for you today because Brad brought a cigar this time.
I just showed up with my Wiener.
I'll let you start it off. What are you smoking today, Brad?
Well, in preparation of Father's Day, I am smoking Mr. Punch's Wiener. And I was curious about the name, but, it's interesting. It's just packaged the way that hot dogs would be packaged.
Yeah, the annual Father's Day release. I mean, we've had the VHS box, we've had the beer can. So this season for grilling out, they come in. If you buy the full box, it's like a pack of 10 wrapped to look like a pack of hot dogs.
But the interesting thing is they actually had a file where you can print off a hot dog bun shaped cigar holder if you've got a 3D printer. So. I'll get that in the works.
Yeah, we need to get
40
some of those.
hours later. But yeah, this cigar sports a dark Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, U.S. broadleaf binder with fillers from the Dominican Republic, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Half Dominican Andulo as well. These all come in a 6x50 shape, which is about the size of
Yeah, about
it depends. If you buy the cheap like Guatley's, know.
And it's kind of cool because it's capped on both ends, so you can kind of smoke it from either side, and your flavor profile changes depending on which side you start with.
Yeah, so I started with the blue side, and for me, off the initial bat is some of the spice does come through, but I'm getting more cedar, earthy, more wood tones out of this, which kind of goes along with the tasting notes here. This is tagged as sweet, dark wood, spicy. I just did a dry mouth pull from the red side, and I was like, oh man, that's a spicy, But I wanted the cigar to graduate into the spice. I didn't just want to start off, like we do with the Punch Diablos, where okay, this is super, flavorful and intense, and then the rest of the cigar be like, I don't even know what I'm smoking now because I've still got the spice on my tongue. So I've got two of these. We'll see if I get through the other one before the end of the episode.
Yeah, I smoked them the other day, and it was like, to me, the flavor profile stayed the same, but it depended on which side you started with. It either went from earthy, woody to sweet and spice, or it started sweet and spice and then transitioned to like woody and earthy. So it was like, it's been on which end of the spectrum you wanted your experience to go on.
I'm going to be on all the spectrums.
Well, I'm smoking because I thought this sounded good with Thunderbolts. The Hooten Young Operation Gothic Serpent 30th Anniversary Cigar. Hooten Young's primarily a veteran-owned bourbon company, but they also make some cigars. I did the Ma Deuce last episode, and that thing's good, so I figured I would try the other one they had in the shop. This guy sports an Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro wrapper over Nicaraguan binders and fillers. And so far it's, because we started running our mouths before we started, so I've been probably smoking this for 5-10 minutes into this cigar. Creamy, nutty, with just a kind of a little bit of leather and spice.
I will say though that just looking at the ash, looking at the light, the white labeling versus the dark wrapper of the cigar, that cigar just fucking looks elegant as fuck from my vantage point. But then again, I'm over here sucking on a wiener, so.
And it's definitely smoother. It's definitely in that medium. It's not light. It's definitely still like medium plus, but it's very like smooth.
It looks creamy.
It is.
Here, you would like to mix some cream with my wiener?
Wiener cream.
That's a blend we don't need.
And if you want to power through some wiener cream, you should call in the Strike Force. StrikeForceEnergy.com. Use your promo code Cigar Nerds for 20% off your order. Oh. And this week, we're going to be talking about the latest entry in the MCU, the Thunderbolts.
You mean Bob.
And Bob. It's What About Bob? But yep, that's the intro we got for you this week, and now we're about to get on with the main show. And welcome back. It's time to talk Thunderbolts. Thunder.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
Or Thunderbolts asterisks.
Yeah, just one.
Yeah.
That's for Bob.
Yeah, Bob. That's what they asked. I was like, "What's the asterisk stand for?" That's for Bob.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts and Bob.
Yeah. He's a vital character. I love the fact that we have our most in-depth discussions about our topics when we're not recording.
Oh yeah, what was the thing? Yeah, because it's for a while there, it was like 3 or 4 Marvel movies a year, and it's definitely like, you were saying it's slowed down, but it seems like the quality has gotten better.
I'll say the quality's gotten better, but also too like the continuity. Like we got in previous films, everybody's accustomed to Marvel doing the post-credit thing. And your post-credit would be like for a thing that may not even happen for 5 more years. And it's like, where's the continuity? It's like there's no planning, there's no strategy. It's just like, oh, we have to do all the things, and we'll figure out how we're going to release them and tie them in together. And there's just no rhyme or reason. Where this actually had a rhyme or reason. I don't know. I guess, this hasn't been out too long, so maybe we do kind of our thoughts before we get into maybe more of the spoiler style content.
I mean, it's been out 2 weeks, so I mean we're outside the window, and we're just saying like what was the last cinematic Marvel movie? And then I completely forgot about Captain America: Brave New World. That came out earlier this year, but before that it was the Marvels, which was 2023. I mean, if you count Deadpool and Wolverine but it really didn't tie much into MCU proper. Other than, I mean, it kind of did, but I almost count Deadpool and Wolverine as its own thing.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
So I didn't even because that was the only movie that came out in 2024. So it was like we were getting that like 3 or 4 a year, and then the Marvels hit, and then it's like we got Wolverine and Deadpool in 2024, and then this year we've got Captain America, the Thunderbolts, and whatever Fantastic Four coming out later this year. But yeah, I think it was like Kevin Feige's like, we're gonna kind of after kind of the end of whatever Phase 4, they've kind of had a little bit of a slump, and I think they've even said like, hey, we're going to start concentrating on quality instead of quantity. We're going to kind of take a step back and not release so much product and start going back and concentrating on like good storytelling.
It was the same thing with Star Wars, right? We had such a big gap before they started redoing, and then it was just like, oh yeah, here's all these series, here's all these movies, and it's like, no, you're just diluting the pool of shitty content. Like,
yeah, and I think that's the kind of a problem Disney has, is like something comes out and it's successful, and it's like we must like pour a ton of this shit out, and it just gets like, no, it's like you're starting to make, we like the thing because it was good, and now you're just kind of cutting quality to produce more shit, and it's like, no, we want good stories, not a lot of stories.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, I have to say that to me, this movie was almost a breath of fresh air. Not only on the quality, but then too, it was like, I think back to the Captain Marvel days, and how it was just, oh yeah, look, here's a female-led movie, and it was just shoved and crammed down your throat, and it's like, this film was a female-led movie, and at no point did, it stop to remind me that it was a female-led movie, and at no point did I care, because the movie fucking kicked ass.
There wasn't that cheesy girls get it done fucking moment from Endgame. Where in reality, like, none of those ladies had to help. Like, Captain Marvel could have done that shit on her own.
But, this... The other thing that I liked about this was, finally we get, it's not just the Avengers, but, like, this group wasn't so overshadowed that it made them irrelevant. Like, it was kind of nice to see just, hey, here's what's happening in New York, and this could happen to anybody, and just see, like, modern superheroes. Like, this almost remind me of a destruction film at times, because, literally it's them saving folks from, falling objects and buildings and that sort of thing.
Doing basic ass hero
Yes.
shit.
And I'm like...
The stakes were good, but it wasn't like Thanos is erasing half the frickin' galaxy. It seemed like a smaller stakes film, but not really.
I mean, that was the thing, dude. Like, I don't
And it
know.
was-
You saw,
and it was fun. Like, there's a lot of comedy in it, and a lot of action and comedy, and it was just.
I'll say that DC needs to learn to take a playbook, because this film, it was heavy on the emotional side.
Oh yeah, there's some like serious like dark topics, with mental health issues and depression and whatnot. But
all of that was
at the same
vital,
time, it was fun and funny.
to the storytelling, and to understand where each of our characters' backgrounds and where their headspace, like, it was relevant to the story. And I guess my gripe with DC is it's just so dark and fucking bleak.
Yeah, you either have fucking Batman or or you have Peacemaker. They're either like comedy gold or we're just the darkest, grittiest shit you can imagine. And they don't kind of mix well. It's like Peacemaker showing up in a fucking Batman movie would just not feel right. But this is like, we can go really dark and then we can make you laugh like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
They're very well balanced.
And I gotta say, like, that to me just speaks volumes of the quality of casting that we had with this, to be able to go to that dynamic. And the other thing too is, it just felt like a good team up film. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like, sometimes it's just like, a character's script doesn't necessarily match their personality and everything comes across as forced, where this just seemed natural and flowed. And it's, we may not be friends, but, at the end of this, like, we've got to work together.
Yeah, and it's like, we didn't need, let's say the first Avengers movie. Pretty much everyone who was in that movie, except for Hawkeye and Black Widow, had a solo film to like introduce these characters, where all these guys that are in it have been like secondary characters in something else. Like, none of those people have had like a solo film. I mean, Yelena had the Black Widow movie and the Hawkeye TV series. Fucking Walker was in the Captain America or Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. And whatever. Oh yeah, the other girl, Ghost, was from Ant-Man, in like the second Ant-Man movie. So yeah, all these people have been like side characters. They've not had to have. We haven't had to get like a big solo origin story film. It's like, no, let's throw these like weird like side characters in and like make them the fucking star of this movie, and it worked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it worked because they did, I think, a great job. Like, even as somebody like me who's not as well versed in the comics and the lore and stuff as yourself and others out there, but I understood where the characters were coming from. Like, this gave enough of a background to say, hey, this is where we're at, and there was a clear and concise direction of this is where we're going.
Oh, I just went to look at my notes, and the Wikipedia article I pulled up was not the Thunderbolts movie. It was literally a Wikipedia article on Thunderbolts. I'm like, fucking, what's all this lightning shit? Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong fucking wiki.
You've been thunderstruck.
But yeah, and that's another thing, Marvel, when they don't like just, concentrate on let's make something flashy and cool, but actually give you well-written, fleshed out characters, is these are heroes with like fucking problems, man. They've been through some shit, and not a single one of them had like we're 100% like good to go. Like all of them's just a little bit of PTSD'd out, and it's like, yeah, you all have been doing this shit for, I think it's like the 30-somethingth movie in the Marvel universe. And it's like, yeah, y'all guys have been through some shit, and it's like kind of like whatever, Iron Man 3, where like after the Battle of New York, like Tony's is like a little bit having like fucking panic attacks and shit.
It's the spoils of war, man.
So it's kind of cool seeing this kind of, I don't know, characters with a depth. They're not just like a flashy comic book character. These are like, oh yeah, these characters have layers and issues and like depth to them.
Not only
except for Taskmaster, because she gets like she was barely there, but the rest of them were pretty well developed.
Well, and I would say, like, I think everybody got a pretty good. I mean, it's obvious who our leads were. The one character I wish
the 36th film, not including like the Disney Plus series.
Damn. We had all that opportunity to make money, and we didn't, break through in our film careers, or we're still just sitting in a dingy shed podcasting.
Yeah.
We gotta set some higher expectations for ourselves.
Yeah, we gotta become YouTube famous.
But I wish Ghost would have gotten a little bit more screen time and stuff, because that was the one character that I was just like, well, you're here and you're good, but now you're gone.
Literally, because she just turns invisible. Yeah, the fight scenes with her are good, and like, so I mean, we learned a lot about her in whatever the second Ant-Man film, but yeah, her power set was just kind of cool, and I like that, her kind of the way she fought and stuff was, but yeah, she definitely didn't get as much, at least monologuing, as like the rest. This is definitely Yelena's like movie. She's like the new like Black Widow, pretty much. I mean, she's like, it's playing like, a side character in the Black Widow movie, and in the I liked her in the Hawkeye series, but yeah, she is definitely like, Florence Pugh is now like this is like pretty much her freaking movie. Which I don't hate that. I like her as an actress, and I like the character. She is like that. She's so dry-witted. Like, she says like some just off-the-wall shit, but just the way she says it so like nonchalantly is just hilarious. I mean, and she saves a guinea pig.
I mean, who saw the irony? Because they themselves were all guinea pigs.
I mean, she did it twice. She shaved the literal guinea pig in the lab, and then she saves the human guinea pig of Bob.
Well, I mean, dude, they were all, subject to the super soldier experiments and everything. I mean, like...
Yeah, you got Bucky, you got Red Guardian, you got, whatever, U.S. Agent, a.k.a. Wish.com Captain America. I love that joke, because everyone just come like, all right, Junior Varsity Captain America.
Yes.
He's like, but I was the actual Captain America. Yeah, for like 3 minutes until Sam kicked your ass and took the shield back.
Yeah, but then he got a sweet taco shield.
Yeah. The taco shield. Oh.
But that was the thing, man, is like, this had the propensity to be so heavy, but yet here we are, we can joke about it. We, like, It was a roller coaster of a film, and that felt nice. It wasn't as cliche and cookie cutter as it was. It was a breath of fresh air from the cliche and cookie cutterness that it could have been.
Yeah. And for all the people like, what's up with the asterisks in the title? If you are comic book savvy, the Thunderbolts originally in the comics were a team of almost like Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. It was all former bad guys that were kind of basically trying to work off their debt to society by doing like hero shit. And they were started by General Thunderbolt Ross, aka Red Hulk. But that didn't happen in the Marvel Universe. Thunderbolt Ross became President Ross, if anyone saw Captain America Brave New World, and still end up hulking out and becoming the Red Hulk. But so yeah. So instead of that origin of like, we named ourselves after the guy that put us together, it's like, you know, fucking, we're a team. And like, they're all making these jokes about like their things they did as a child. And Yelena like mentions that she was part of a child's soccer team that never won a game called the Thunderbolts. So they're like, yeah, we're the Ohio, whatever county Thunderbolts. This is like their running joke the whole movie.
That's fine. There's no pressure here. We're all winners because we're all losers. Aw.
Everyone here sucks equally.
But with our suckage combined.
We are Captain Planet. That's a movie that I'm surprised they've not tried to like reboot and give us a live action Captain Planet movie.
Yeah, you know, I've oftentimes thought of that. Like, you know, growing up watching the cartoons and stuff, I'm like,
especially now, as kind of as cliche as it is, like woke shit. That was literally like a fucking environmentalist propaganda show. I mean, it was ahead of its time. I think Captain Planet would like really fit in today's society. I'm surprised they've not tried to remake
just,
that.
You know, there to, you know, he's going to take pollution down to zero. Because he's our hero.
Earth, wind, fire, heart.
I mean, those are all good core values. Now, if you weaponize those values... all things in modesty, dear Joe.
Oh. And I think they did a good job of our villain, if you can call her that, corrupt politician.
They're all corrupt. I mean, just look at that Bucky guy.
Yeah.
With his metal arm and whatnot.
That's the funniest thing is like, you know, badass Winter Soldier. And you saw this introduced in the Captain America that he was like, I'm tired of fighting people, Sam. I want to like, you know, try to change things from the inside. So I'm going to run for Congress. And apparently he got elected. And now he's like, the fuck, this Congress shit sucks. You know, because they're in the middle of basically trying to impeach the director of the CIA, which is Julie Louis-Dreyfus. What was it? Valentina Desfontaine.
Duh.
Because supposedly she's a Fontaine, because supposedly she's doing some corrupt shit. And he's like, you know, trying to meet in secrets with the other congressmen. He's like, I got a spy on the inside. They're like, Bucky, we're politicians. We're not secret spies anymore. Just bring it up to at the meeting. Like, I've sent you some packets. He's like, packet? He's like, yeah, you got to read the fucking briefings. And like, you see him like in his apartment, like trying to eat pizza or whatever. And like, he's like, I got to do a lot of reading as a congressman. This sucks.
Well, I mean, dude, we've argued that about politics many times. It's like somebody slaps a 40,000 page bill and says, "Hey, you have this weekend to read through it."
Yeah, and there's always so much like just fucking waste and corruption like just hidden, and it's like no one can write like, "Hey, I'm writing this bill for this specific thing." It's like, no, here's like your 400-page shit that like I'm gonna tell you is doing that one thing, but if you read it, there's like 20 other things that I've like hidden in there that most of the time like have nothing to do with like what the bill is. Like, here's the bill on you know, fucking legalizing ham sandwiches, but on page 87, we're giving $1 billion to African squirrel farmers. Like, what the hell's that got to do with it? You know, it's like,
Ah, shit. All this time we think we've been eating chicken, and we're eating squirrel. Because it's cheaper. Motherfucker. That's it. All right, everybody, tinfoil hats.
conspiracy talk on this.
God, that would be a great fucking episode.
Favorite conspiracies.
Just you and I going down the fucking rabbit hole.
Fucker, yeah, we'll definitely have to get tinfoil. Like, I've only got maybe 2 more things on like my schedule before I start adding new things. Yeah, we need to do like conspiracy like we go full Alex Jones and do like a conspiracy episode.
Just do some fucking shrooms or something. Be like,
all right, man.
Just really, really venture out there. Give the listeners, you know, a real insight as to who these 2 fucking assholes really are.
All right, go ahead and comment on this video or send us an email. Like, what's your favorite conspiracy series so we can like start deep diving on weird conspiracy shit for our future conspiracy episode.
We'll go missing before we ever even get a chance. Like, those 2 fucking assholes nearly figured it out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they end up shooting themselves like 5 times. That's why I got remote start on my car, just in case.
Very specific number.
I mean, speaking of conspiracies, there's been like, oh no, this person died of you know, self-inflicted gunshot wound twice. It's like,
Nah, I mean, we've joked about that, you know. I mean,
person was shot in the back of the head. It's an obvious self-inflicted gunshot. No, not too obvious. That doesn't sound correct. Trust me, I'm from the government. What was that Reagan said? The scariest things anyone can say is like, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
yeah.
I'll go ahead and say it now. I did not kill myself. Put that out there now.
I'll be here with you.
So yeah, Thunderbolts. Oh. So yeah, we get all these little. So De Fontaine apparently has also been running some kind of corrupt organization, like whatever, OXE, and yeah, that's the thing she's kind of on trial for. They're like, oh, you ran this corporation. Like, oh no, I didn't. I just advising capacity. But turns out they were like doing shady human research stuff in other countries, and to her it's like I always say, I like a bad guy that doesn't think they're the bad guy, where she's like, ever since Endgame, the surviving kind of Avengers have all dispersed, so we don't really have with the loss of kind of Iron Man and Captain America, we don't have an actual official Avengers team. So she's like, I'm trying to build a new superhero that's like more powerful than the Avengers that can protect, you know, American interests. But now that she's being investigated, she's like, all right, yeah, we got to cover up all the shady things we've been doing outside of government purview. So I'm going to send all my little personal agents I've recruited to like clean up. So like when I'm getting investigated, like none of this shit comes out. And then like the final mission, all right, the people that's been doing the dirty work for me, cleaning up all this shit, I need to like clean them up as well. So I'm going to basically send them all on the same mission. So they hopefully either kill each other or they at least get trapped in this vault that I'm going to blow up to erase all the evidence of fuckery I've been committing.
But love prevails.
Yeah, so they all end up raiding this vault that turns out to be a big-ass incinerator. I saw that coming. As soon as they walked in, there's like 4 big vents over the room. I'm like, oh, this is going to go bad. Those definitely look like exhaust ports. Somebody's about to get fried.
That's not Star Wars, Joe.
Just drop a proton torpedo in their exhaust tube. That's what happened to me the other day.
this isn't about you, okay? This is about Thunderbolts,
Oh,
not Hoop Hoop Brass.
that dude, like when they, so as they're fighting each other in this room, they kick over a storage thing, and out pops Bob, and they're like, all right, I was assassin sent to kill him. He was assassin sent to kill her. She was here to kill her. Who the fuck are you? So, I'm Bob. How'd you get in here? I don't know. I kind of woke up here. How'd y'all get here?
Where is here?
Y'all got sweet suits. I'm just here in my like, dude. I was like, I don't know. I went in for a medical procedure in like Malaysia, and I woke up in this hole. My name's Bob.
Bob's got a dark secret.
Literally.
But that's like, such a cool character and all. And I get, like, oh, we need stronger superheroes. But, like, dude, like, if you could be blipped or just, you're going to the shadow realm. Like,
Send y'all to the shadow realm.
good luck.
Yeah, because basically she's trying. It's fucking DC, Marvel, always ripping off each other. She's trying to make her project is that she thinks failed until Bob like survived. Was to build basically the Marvel fucking Superman. I mean, he flies, he's bulletproof, but he also has the Force, so he can like smack people around with his mind. And it's funny too because they're like, all right, we got to team up to get out of this place. And they get to like the elevator, and it's just a smooth shaft. We're like, does none of us fly? We're like the worst superhero team ever. We all just like shoot and kick, shoot and punch. I mean, at that point they hadn't teamed up with Alexei or the Winter Soldier, but yeah, we got 3 super soldiers and 2 like trained assassins. It's like, the team needs to diversify. we need different power sets because like we're all just like fighters and like super strength people. I mean, temporary like phasing chick is kind of cool, but yeah, you need some Air Force in your you need that close air support. You need a flyer in your group, like the OG Marvel or OG Avengers. I mean, we had Iron Man, we had Thor. We had some air support.
Yeah, they had literal
Falcon.
gods. Okay, those were literal gods, Joe. These are just mortal humans
with some super serum. So either really good training or just super serum.
Both. Good serum, good training. You too can be good.
Oh, and I gotta say, I love fucking Red Guardian. Alexei is just so hilarious.
Well,
I mean,
dude, that's your inner fucking being. Like,
I've
anytime I've ever gotten drunk with you, you turn into, fucking fake Russian.
I mean, I did the Moon Knight costume. I've got to get me a Red Guardian costume because I can do bad the Russian voice. But he's so like delusionally confident and optimistic. Like, no matter how shit his life is, he's like, yes, I am Red Guardian, hero of Mother. Like, he's like the only one that's excited about, I'm part of a superhero team now. And they're like, God damn it, Alexei. He's like, no, you all are a team. You don't see what I see, but you all are a team.
You have a light that burns bright.
You've done meth in a chicken suit. I love that joke because they're like, when they're all arguing, you like who's going to be in charge, pretty much. Walker's like, I was an actual soldier. I've been in every war zone in the world, and they're like, oh wow, oh yeah, and I played high school football. And like, oh wow, like I used to be a part of a Pee-wee soccer league. What about you? I did, so and so. And it's like, hey Bob, do you have anything irrelevant from your past? He's like, I once had a job as a chicken twirling a sign while I was on meth. Like, all right, we're all good.
He's good with his hands.
Like, Alexei shows up to save them, but he's like a day late. He's like, don't go into the vault. It's a trap. And it's like, bro, we've already dealt with that. Like, he's like, do y'all know how big America is? It takes a long time to drive here. It's not like the Avengers were like, let's jump on a Quinjet and we'll be there in like an hour. It's like, let me get my fucking mid-90s like Roach limo and drive all the way from New York to Utah to rescue you guys.
But when he says he's a driver, he's actually a driver. It's not just one of those ruse, you know?
He's like, oh yes, I am hero by day, fucking limo driver by night. And where was Alexi's shield? He had his, he never whipped out his like Russian shield.
He didn't need it.
I guess they decided there was too many shields in this. You had Walker's shield. You had Taskmaster had a shield for a minute until she got blasted.
We have so many defensive characters.
Yeah. Too many tanks, not enough attackers.
We need more DPS. We need air support. It's not a well-balanced team.
And I love that conversation.
Dude, could this turn into, thinking about that, like some kind of Marvel RPG where it's like, hey, now you got to do your team up, and you have your different, classifications, and it's like
that. Whatever the Marvel game where you had like the you built the 4-man teams. Yeah, you kind of had to like diversify your characters because you went like too tank heavy. You couldn't
do enough damage.
Yeah, so you needed like a defensive character. You needed like a flying character. You needed like an attacker. Oh yeah, was it Marvel Ultimate Alliance? That was those games. Those were cool as shit. I loved that game back in the day.
Those games are so fucking hard to find. I remember finding a copy of I think Ultimate Alliance 2, and I'm ashamed how much I paid for that. But hell, you were at the house at the time. We fucking played the shit out of that.
That game was fun as hell because it had like almost like every freaking Marvel character. So it was like you could build your own like team of Avengers pretty much and just switch them. I mean, you had like Deadpool, Wolverine, and Cap. I mean, it was pretty much every like. I think even Ghost Rider was one of the. You got Ghost Rider at one point, and it's like, yeah, it was cool as shit. But I like, fuck, them getting attacked by the CIA like hit team or whatever. And he's like, don't worry, it is bulletproof. And it's like, immediately blows out the back. Bulletproof-ish. It's small arms fire. He's shooting a Ma Deuce. Like, it's not rated for 50 BMG AP rounds.
It's all right. They solved that.
Yeah, and I like, fucking, I don't even think she has, like, an actual, like, superhero name. Like, Yelena, like she's always just been Yelena. Like she's not like they never like officially called her like Black Widow or whatnot. She's just like, but when she hangs out the window with like the little like Glock 26 or what, no, I think she has a 19, and like shoots at the fucking Hummer, and all of a sudden there's like an explosion, and she like, even looks at it like, damn Glock, how the fuck did I do that? And then you see Bucky coming in like full Terminator on the motorcycle with like the magnetic grenade launcher. He's like, oh, okay, that makes more sense now.
My power is my bullets become much more impactful. I should use guns more often.
But then Bucky, like, you think he's saving the day, but he's there to like capture them because he's like, I need y'all to testify against Valentina. And they're like, no, we have to go save Bob. And he's like, who the fuck's Bob? And they're all like, you don't understand, Bucky. Like, Valentina's built like a fucking super soldier that's... Dude's,
You have one of her arms.
And, then he gets a call from his source, which is Valentina's assistant, who started to see, like, maybe this stuff she's doing's a little bit dangerous. She's basically... gave someone with like mental health issues superpowers. This probably not gonna go well. And she's like, hey Bucky, like, he's like, what, Bob? And they're like, Bob, see, someone weren't lying, there's a Bob. And it's like, Valentine, like, superpowers, huh? And like, oh. All right, fine, come on, let's go save Bob.
All of our stories, they match. That is kind of crazy, though. All these background checks to purchase a gun and stuff, but become super soldier? Just take any geek off the street, huh?
Yeah. You gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god, that would have been a great fucking song for...
Oh yeah, like when they're in the... He's like, time for defensive measures, and starts like flipping switches in his limo. You think he's about to like do some James Bond shit, and no, it just starts playing Genuine's Pony, and they're like, who have you been driving, Alexi? You're like mobile stripper stuff, and he's like fucking flipping out like, damn it, where's the missile launchers? None of this shit works.
James Bond would have had it figured out.
He's like, I bought this on eBay. And I like when they're going to rescue Bob, and like they're in like their stealth U-Haul. It's like Alexi and Winter Soldier driving, and he's like, "Oh, so you have Super Serum? Which version of superheroes or super soldier serum did you get?" And he's like, I guess they were like Hydra. I guess it was like the original. He's like, oh, Hydra, fancy. I had the Russian knockoff,
Yeah.
but still good. Like we are the same.
Just our masks are much smaller.
Yeah. He is just so like delusionally positive that just it's such a fun character.
But that's exactly what this film needed, though, because, like I said, I could have seen this going the DC route, and it's just like, oh my god, everybody's so fucking emo, and it's just like, ah. Whereas, here, like, it meant something, but that wasn't the focus.
No. And that little scene with him and Bucky together, it reminded me of if you've watched like the last season of Marvel What If, the whole like road trip episode where Winter Soldier and Red Guardian like driving across America, and it's like the funniest freaking like buddy cop type episode of the bunch. I'm like, I kind of want to see a live action version of those two just getting into shit. Which that's pretty much what this movie
Dude,
was.
yeah, I mean, I don't, not so much buddy cop, but
Odd couple type.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just it still had some of the same kind of Marvel stuff, but at the same time, like, there was so much less political shit getting shoved down your throat, or virtue signaling, or all these other things that I'm just like, if it's imperative to the story, fucking great, let's run it. But just to
shoehorn an ideal
exactly,
in for...
but this didn't do that. And I think for me, I'm just like, this was just a fun, all around good experience. I mean, hell, like,
I mean, there's definitely some stuff in there about like the importance of mental health stuff, but
as there
it
should
fit
be
in the fucking story. It wasn't like, it didn't feel like shoehorned in. I'm like, oh, this is organically fits the story we're trying to tell. So then Bob gets his whole full Sentry power up, and Valentina's like, all right, here's what's gonna happen. You got to kill these fuckers, and I'm gonna tell the press that, like, introduce you to the press as like our new Avenger, and we're gonna taking down these dangerous criminals that are attacking us. And he's like, fuck you, I'm a god now. So when she hits the kill switch on him, it unleashes the void, because his like secret power is like, he basically kicks people to the shadow realm, and you're trapped in basically your worst, darkest moments. And that the character design of the void when it comes out, where it's just basically a living shadow, just solid black, and you can see the kind of like
just
the reflecting
eyes.
of like the black eyes and the shadow. Like, oh, this could be a straight up horror movie. That dude is like fucking nightmare fuel.
I mean, you kind of made the joke, because we always have to make the joke anytime there's a David Harbour presence. But
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Went to the Upside Down.
exactly, you know, but I mean, that's it. That I feel like that's when people talk about hell, that would be it, you know.
Yeah, you're just stuck in your worst moment, like reliving it like over and over again. And Yelena like willingly goes into the void because she thinks like, all right, I kind of seen what he did earlier. Like he has to be in there somewhere, so I need to go see if I can make contact with Bob and you know and wake him up. And then the rest of the team, you know, he finds her or she finds him, but then the rest of the team like followed her in, and they're like, "Oh, we are a team. Y'all came after me." And she's like, "Oh my god, like what did y'all see?" And like Bucky's like, "Oh, nah, don't worry. I've had a great life." Like you probably saw some dark shit, dude, because you were like, you know, a fucking, you know, brainwashed assassin for years. Like there's no telling what Bucky saw in his his mind prison.
I mean,
he's like, "Oh no, don't worry. I had a wonderful life." I don't know.
dude, that could have been a film in itself.
Yeah.
You know,
Just watching himself kill innocent people over and over again. Or
well, I
some
mean,
shit.
each of the characters in their own purgatories, you know.
Yeah, we got to see a little bit of Yelena's and Bob's, and when they're like, once they all team up together, like, all right, we got to find like basically like the center of this. He's like, you said this room you're in was like the best one you could find. Like, show us the worst. So they start breaking through like these different parts of Bob's life, and you get to see the meth chicken.
Yeah.
They have to fight, and he's like a freaking ninja, like swinging, doing the little like roadside sign, just like swinging around, beating the hell out of you. He fucking hits was it Red Guardian? He's like, "Bob, if you hit me in the head one more time," and like, and then they're like fighting as they're like fleeing out. They're like, one of them's like, "Bob, you're messed up, man." He's like, "I was on meth."
That's messed up.
Meth chicken. I don't know if they ever said where Bob's from, but that was definitely some Florida man behavior. Doing meth in a chicken suit.
Just a normal Tuesday.
Oh, but yeah, fighting the freaking meth chicken was hysterical. Oh, but yeah, then he finally gets back to like the origin of the void, and he's having to kick his own ass, and they're like, "Oh, that's not the solution to the problem. Like it's, you know, it wants you to like unleash your anger and go full dark side. So like the team all has to be like, no, Bob, you're not alone. Let's hug it out." And finally brought the light back in and let Bob, like, you're no longer alone. You're no longer a shithead. Now you're one of us shitheads. We can be shitheads together and help each other out.
Team shitheads.
I mean, they had that moment when they're trying to escape the vault where it's like, "Hey, I have dark thoughts too." It's like, "Well, what do you do about it?" You push it way down, way down, and never let it down. When they,
I'm sorry, that was the wrong advice.
you can't shut it down. You gotta let it out. You gotta share it with people. We're your friends now, Bob. And you know that woke up the Bob and brought everybody out of the shadow realm.
Although, you know, just him sitting in his childhood room is doing work on that Rubik's Cube. Mad props.
It takes a while. It's a good. Rubik's Cube was the original fidget spinner.
So everybody was like, "Hey, you realize these stickers peel off, right?"
Or not even that. I remember had one where like you could actually like pop the cubes off, so you could just pop the cubes off and, and reset it.
And yet you still got it wrong. Like, aw.
What the shit?
This orange doesn't go with the reds.
Motherfucker. Oh.
I really, honestly, I want to see this film again.
Yeah, it's one of those that like it may be worth a second watch through because there's just so much going on. Yeah, so I may go back and see it in the theaters instead of waiting for it to come out on Disney Plus. I know the wife wants to see it too, so we may try to go see it again.
I should take my wife. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, she was there.
I have one of those.
Oh. That reminds me, I'll tell you a joke later because it'll definitely get me in trouble if I say it on the air. My wife listens. One of my favorite, probably fights, too, is that first kind of mission with Yelena when she's trying to clean up the lab to destroy the evidence, and she's, fucking fighting the one dude, or she's got him all tied up, and he's like, I need someone with facial recognition to open this door. And he's like, if you're not going to help me, you're kind of worthless. And then she starts talking to the guinea pig. She's like, hello, guinea pig. Do you know how to open the door? No, I don't. Sorry. Yeah, you get your own problems. And then the scientist comes in and starts shooting at her. And she's trying to fight him.
There's a face.
Yeah, there's a face that'll open a door. And then in the middle of the fight, he accidentally shoots. Accidentally shoots the guy she's got tied up, and then accidentally shoots himself in the face. He's like, "Damn it! I needed that face. This isn't. I guess we're gonna have to do it the hard way. Let's blow up the whole fucking lab." But as she's leaving, she rescued the freaking guinea pig. She's going, "Yes, it's all cleaned up." Wait a minute, hold on. And then the building blows up. Yes, it's all cleaned up now, and I have pet guinea pig.
They do a lot of squeaking. Those are noisy little creatures.
I saw a thing that was people say have the confidence of a lion. It's that's bullshit, because lions are they're big and they've got claws and teeth. They're dangerous. They have a reason to be confident. You need to be as confident as a guinea pig. It's it's soft, it's furry, it has no defensive or offensive capabilities whatsoever, but it will scream at you until it feeds you. You feed it. That's the level of confidence you need to have.
Now I want to go to PetSmart and rescue all the guinea pigs. Yes, let's go free all the animals.
I did see a video of that. It was pretty sure it was Florida. This meth head they arrested had broken into a PetSmart at night and had stolen a bunch of animals. And when they arrest him, they start patting him down, and they're pulling fucking guinea pigs and rabbits and all kind of shit out of this dude's clothes. It was a weird magic trick trying to pat this guy down. They're there's a guinea pig in his pants, and here's a rabbit and some lizards, and stuffed all these animals in his clothes.
I feel bad for the hamsters because he's not getting found till he goes in for that strip search. Aw.
Hamster in the prison wallet. And we also learned who bought Avengers Tower, finally. Tony sold that way back in hell, it was the first Spider-Man movie, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. And it's everyone's I bet it's the Fantastic Four because we're eventually going to get the Fantastic Four. No, apparently Valentina bought it to start her new super. It's been redubbed the Watchtower, which I think that's a DC thing.
The Watcher. I gotta say, just thinking ahead, do you think this is going to be a good Fantastic Four film finally?
It looks interesting, and I like because obviously we've established now that kind of Disney, Marvel are buying back their old properties and we've developed the multiverse where some of these things exist in different universes. Obviously, Fantastic Four is not in whatever Earth 6-1, whatever this Earth is called. So it's got that cool retro sci-fi look to it. It looks like it's set in the 60s, but with futuristic technology and shit.
It kind of reminds me of Fallout a little bit.
Yeah, it's old school futuristic. It's got a cool look to it, and it also the most comic booky looking of the Marvel movies so far. I mean, they look like Golden Age comics Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, I suppose. It's just one of those that, once again, great animated series.
Yeah.
But The live action stuff just hasn't, you know.
Like the first two were, well, the first one was okay, but they weren't great. They were both like kind of like pre MCU, and then they had the new one that bombed so hard I never even saw that one. It got such bad reviews that I have yet to see like the new Fantastic Four movie. But I mean, it's got Pedro Pascal. Motherfuckers and everything. He hasn't been in anything bad yet, so I'm hopefully optimistic that this version of the Fantastic Four is pretty sweet. Which brings us to after they stop the Void, and they're like, we're finally going to arrest Valentina, but she, being a politician, definitely spin this shit, and she's like, I want to introduce everyone to the new Avengers. This was all my idea. Earth, we need heroes, and I've been working on that, so we got heroes now. And Yelena's like, all right, this could work, but you belong to us now. Like,
yeah, we own you.
we have all the evidence against you, so yeah, we'll play along with your like we're the new Avengers shit, because I'm tired of being in the shadow type person. I want to be like more doing hero shit. And yeah, then you jump like a year, I was like 14 months later, and they're in the new Avenger Tower. And it's funny because if you watch Captain America Brave New World, at the end, you know, Sam is like, I'm going to restart the Avengers. And then they made these guys, and like basically like Sam's suing them. He's like, Bucky, he's your friend. Shouldn't you talk to me? He's like, I did. It didn't go well. Like, he's trying to trademark the Avengers name. We're getting like sued for copyright infringement and shit. Well, it's like, well, if he starts a team named Avengers, what the fuck are we going to call us? We're going to go back to being the Thunderbolts. Or in the comics, they had like whatever, West Coast Avengers. And Alexi always like the promo guy's like, no, we can be Avengers with a Z. There's no copyright on that spelling.
I like that.
It sounds like a boy band. And I like I think it's just wind. I like the first post-credit scene where it's like, because he talks about, he's like, you could be heroes. You could be the people on the Wheaties box. And they're legit on a Wheaties box now. And he's like trying to flirt with some chick in the in the grocery store. He's like, look, these Wheaties are very good. He's like, does this look familiar? He's like, I am guy on box. And she's like, yeah, sure. Shouldn't have shaved his beard, man. He's like, dude, just mess with the brand. He went with the mustache. No one recognizes him as on the Wheatie box now.
That's how you know you made it. Is that still a thing?
Wheaties?
Well, I mean, I know that like the cereal's probably still around, but I mean that was always kind of the breakthrough of, up and coming sports stars or whatever, to be like.
Honestly, I went grocery shopping today, and I do not remember like looking at the Wheaties box to see if like who the current, if they even have sports heroes on them anymore. I do not know. It's been so long since I was always a Frosty Flakes guy.
That's more of a Raisin Bran.
As I get old, Raisin Bran Crunch is pretty good too.
Like, I don't know. My parents always acted really old, and spent a lot of time with my grandma, so there was always Raisin Bran around. Like, occasionally if there was none around, and it's like, haha, I get to go to the grocery store, then you could sneak in some Captain Crunch or some Cookie Crisp or something, but those were kind of few and far between.
Yeah, Captain Crunch tasted good, but it always like shredded my gums, so it's
yeah, the roof of your mouth.
I did not eat that very often. Oh, but yeah, and then our second post credits, like I said, you get to see them as trying to be the Avengers, and they're like no one there's something going on in space. We're having a space problem, and like no one wants to talk to us about it. And like Walker's like, what are you talking about space? There's plenty of space in the building. No, you idiot, outer space. And they're like, scan space, and you're like, interdimensional spaceship entering atmosphere, and they're like, what? Show it to us. And it's like, if I hadn't watched like the Fantastic Four trailer that earlier in the day, I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like the ship from the other trailer. And then you see it kind of as they zoom in on it, it rotates, and you see the big 4 logo on the ship, and it's like, fuck yeah, Fantastic Four is in the proper MCU now, somehow.
On this Earth.
Yeah. So, if Sam is making his own Avengers, who do you think's like the new Avengers team if it's not the members of the Thunderbolts?
Oh, God.
Because we know we got Sam and we got the new Falcon. Spider-Man's out there still chilling in New York, supposedly, since he didn't show up in Daredevil.
This is where we get the X-Men. One of the X-Men,
Wolverine shows up.
Wolverine and Deadpool become Avengers somehow in this other Earth.
Strange is still around. Well, Strange was like last time we saw him, he was going off to another dimension. So I don't know if he's back on Earth yet or if he's off trying to save the multiverse. You got
because that was the thing about this is like nobody in this Earth seems to like go to the quantum, shit or anything.
You still got Ant-Man, but he's like out in San Francisco. So
is he still very tiny or is he very big now?
He can do both. Thor's probably off world somewhere. We know Peter Quill came back to Earth, so you at least got Star-Lord could come avenge
with Bob.
Yeah.
Bob and Quill.
They're all like, he's like, fire up the jets. He's like, well, if Sentry would help us, we wouldn't need the jets. He's like, what, are you just going to ride Bob into outer space? Yes, that would be epic. And Bob's like, sorry, man, I can't power up unless, I might accidentally bring the void back. I did do the dishes today, though, guys. Just Bob hanging out in the Avengers Tower.
Isn't like, what a trope. It'd be like, I can't do the badass shit because with the badass shit comes a lot of bad.
And then, of course, the next movie, something's going to happen that Bob has to step up and risk it.
For the
maybe gets enough therapy that he can soup up without bringing out the void.
Well, I mean, he did say that he can control it, though. Like when she was like, come on, Luke, use the Force.
Yeah, and like touched him and he, sent her
so I wonder, like...
He needs practice. He'll get there. Now that he's got his friends to keep him grounded, I guess.
But if he stays grounded, then they lose their flyer.
We need that close air support. So as we kind of wrap this up, what do you think of that Wiener?
It was good. Delicious cigar. Highly recommend it. Interesting concept with, you choose which end to start with. A little tip if it's not obvious, but you do cut both ends. In order for fire to burn, it requires air.
I wonder if you could just like cut it in half and get two little cigars.
Yeah, I don't really know where the flavor profile changes, but I mean, absolutely you could.
It's like one of these is too. I don't have time to smoke a whole thing, so I'm just gonna like slice it in half, and because since both ends are capped, it shouldn't unravel on you if you just cut it dead in the middle. I haven't seen anyone actually try that yet, but experiment.
I mean, I think it would work.
And this Hooten Young, gotta say I prefer the Ma Deuce. I like it better. This one's a little lighter than the Deuce, but it is very flavorful, and I said it's creamy and smooth. It's a nice smooth cigar without being like too light. It's still medium plus, but it's kind of very smooth and nutty and a bit creamy. So yeah, if you can find a Hooten Young, I still got to get some of that whiskey. I want to try their cigars with their whiskey, but I've yet to get a hold of any of the Hooten Young whiskey. I gotta try to find me a bottle of that and give it a try.
I'll see what the availability on that looks like.
I know you can order it, but I haven't really like looked locally to see if it's in any of our usual shops. So, do you have any highlights that we haven't covered that you liked?
No,
anything stands out?
I think we kind of touched base on, my thoughts overall very positive of a film. I would say that, and sticking with the theme,
I like
keep a watch on your brothers and your sisters.
I liked in the credits all the fake like newspaper and magazine covers of the new Avengers. Some of those headlines were pretty hilarious, whereas like some of them were positive and some of them were like just making fun of them. And even US Agent, like his shield is still bent. He still hasn't fixed his shield, even though they're like the Avengers now. And he's like, yeah, if Bob ever gets his powers back, maybe he can straighten my fucking shield out.
I like the taco shield.
You should paint it like that and be like, I'm the Taco Avenger. That might be cultural appropriation.
We're the Mexican Avengers.
But yeah, that's all we got for you this week. We'll be right back with some science. And you've been watching the Cigar Nerds podcast. Check us out on cigarnerdpodcast.com and on the ESO Network, esonetwork.com. And don't forget, smoke them if you got them. Like, comment, and subscribe.